People PhD. I'm an astronomer and a gamer, and I see the universe in everything that I do, including board games. In this series, I am looking at the board game mechanisms as listed on Board Game Geek and seeing where they remind me of the universe and the way that we study it. This time, I'm looking at the mechanism of increased value of unchosen resources, which is kind of a mouthful, but this is a mechanism where if players don't choose a certain action or certain resource on their turn or during a round, it will become more valuable for the future. A couple of examples of games in my collection that use this include Canvas. Now, this is a game where you are collecting the elements to create a painting. And normally you are just taking a card from a market on your turn. Now, you can take the first card for free, or if you want to pass that one up, you need to put on an artist's palette token on each one that you skip until the one that you take. Then on a future turn, when someone takes one of those elements that has those palettes on them, they also take the palettes into their collection, and that gives them the opportunity to skip the first or second or third option in the market on their future turns. Another game that uses this mechanism is Spots. Now, this is a little push your luck dice game where on your turn you are taking an action. There are, at the beginning of the game, 6 available actions, but when a player takes that action, you will flip the card over. And now it is unavailable to other players until at the beginning of one player's turn, if there is only one available action, you'll put a treat on that action and then flip all of the other actions back to their available side. Then when someone takes that action that has a treat on it, they get to take it. And that treat will can help them later re-roll their dice and mitigate some bad dice rolls if they choose. Now, in astronomy, the idea of leftovers becoming very important has reminded me of neutral hydrogen that's just hanging out between everything else in our galaxy and in other galaxies, and how it has become very valuable in helping us understand more about our universe. Let me dig in for a minute. Now, electrons and protons have a property called spin. It's maybe not exactly spin as we would think of it, but it's a property. We're going to talk about it like that. And they can either be spin up or spin down. Now, when you have a neutral hydrogen atom, you have an electron and a proton, and they can each be spinning in the same direction, or you can have one spinning one direction and one the other direction. Now, if you have the spins aligned, this is a slightly higher energy state for that atom than if they are misaligned. And atoms prefer to be in their lowest energy state if at all possible. Now, this transit, so it's actually possible that if you have this configuration, this electron can spontaneously flip its spin in order to make this a lower energy atom. When it does that, it emits a little packet of light called the 21 centimeter line that if it was one single packet, we wouldn't be able to measure it. But there is so much hydrogen around. And even though this transition itself is very rare, there is so much hydrogen and it can happen, in just a small fraction of those. And we can see the signal of this in our own galaxy and in other galaxies. And this is one of the ways that we have mapped out material in different galaxies and understood the presence of things like dark matter. And so this little tiny transition of hydrogen called the spin flip transition in the leftover hydrogen that's not part of a star system, it's not part of a planetary system, it's not part of a nebula, it is just hanging out between everything else in a galaxy. This little thing can help us understand more about how that galaxy is put together, how it moves, and fundamental things about our universe. And so the next time you are playing a game that features the increased value of unused resources mechanism, and you take that action or that card that has been beefed up because no one else has been taking it, take just a minute to pretend that you are studying that neutral hydrogen in another galaxy and helping to unlock some of the secrets in the universe. So I'm going to be continuing this random walk through the Board Game Geek mechanisms, so be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content, and that'll help you know when my new videos come out. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram, and I have a blog at MeeplePhD, and I will see you next time.